In 1992, I coined the term Chaostan, meaning the land of the great chaos, for the area from the Arctic Ocean to the Indian Ocean and Poland to the Pacific, plus North Africa. Thereafter, for 9 years, I warned incessantly that federal officials did not understand Chaostan, and if they did not stop meddling in those countries, we would end up in a war, and the war would eventually wreck the economy because the government would pay for it by borrowing and printing dollars, and the debt and inflation of the money supply would lead to economic chaos. Obviously, that prediction has come true, so today I'm going to explain 3 more things that the government and mainstream press seem not to understand. The title of this speech is What Obama Doesn't Know. The first draft was 14 hours long, but I have cut that quite a bit. You might ask, how can the President of the United States, the most powerful, most well-connected person in history, with all sorts of intelligence agencies, not know something important? The answer is that a successful politician is not an expert at economics, foreign policy, military affairs, or any of the other areas in which he makes decisions. A successful politician is a person who is an expert at winning elections. That's how he gets his job, by winning elections. That is his skill, his career, his area of expertise. Winning elections. In other words, to be president, he needs to be highly skilled at illusion. He must be a better actor than his competition. I sometimes think we need a change to the Constitution. Every 6 months, a president's job performance should be evaluated, and if he isn't doing well, we should call up Hollywood Central Casting and tell them to send over another president. Since the president isn't really an expert at anything presidential except how to get the job, he doesn't know what he should look for when he hires an advisor or a cabinet member. Generally, presidents just hire their drinking buddies or whoever their drinking buddies recommend. You can see this with Obama's group of economic advisors. Before he was sworn in, he formed one group of advisors. Then on February 6th, only 3 weeks after he took office, he hired a second group. Now he has 2 groups of economic advisors. Why? Well, if you know a bit about economics, you can make a good guess. During his election campaign, Obama admitted he knows very little about economics. The first group he hired were people who were prestigious, but they have different economic models. Some are Keynesian, some monetarist, some socialist, and I'll say more about the different models shortly. And I'm sure every time he got a dozen of them in a room and asked for an explanation of what's happening, he got a dozen different answers. He hired a second group, and he's probably getting a dozen different answers from that group too. So I'm going to explain 3 crucially important topics the president and mainstream press seem not to know anything about. And when I'm finished, you will know more than Obama does. The first topic I'll cover is the fact that the economy is not a machine. When we listen to politicians in the mainstream press talk about the economy, we usually hear comments such as the economy is sluggish or the economy is slowing down. We need to speed it up to jumpstart it or repair it or tune it up. But the economy is not a machine. It's an ecology made of biological organisms, people, you and me and our loved ones and millions of others. Economics is not a math course. It's not the study of charts, graphs, and equations. It's the study of living, breathing, thinking, feeling humans. Especially feeling, and I'll say more about that shortly. Economics is not a branch of mechanical engineering, it's a branch of biology, because we are biological organisms. The economy is an ecology, the human ecology, and it is by far the most complex ecology on Earth. I think, for instance, the typical big city hospital probably contains more complexity than all the other so-called natural ecologies in the world put together. Think about it. Not only are the physical bodies and brains of the patients unimaginably complex, but so are the thoughts and feelings of the medical staff and patients, the personal interactions, the decisions, the knowledge base, the experience and training, the chemicals and the color of the paint on the walls, the production of the raw materials used in the bathroom tiles. The contents of that one building are so complex, no human will ever understand them. Yet, for more than a century, politicians and bureaucrats have been meddling in the human ecology, which means they've been playing God. The economic trouble we see around us today is the chickens coming home to roost. Right now, there is a big political movement to increase the number of regulations in the financial industry. The industry already labors under tens of thousands of regulations that no one understands, and it broke down. So how is more regulation going to help? I submit that the financial industry only needs one regulation of 4 words. Thou shalt not steal. Let me be very clear about this. The politicians and bureaucrats have been taught to see us and our loved ones as machines that have broken down, and they plan to do whatever they think is necessary to jumpstart us and rev us up. If someone elected you God and gave you the power to meddle in a rainforest or a tropical reef with all its coral, fish, and underwater vegetation, where would you start? How would you tune up your tropical reef so that it ran more smoothly? How would you jumpstart your rainforest?